So there's something you like about me, huh?
Yeah, you've got a great butt.
Oh, I see. First it's my eyes, now it's my butt.
I've been a Metal Gear Solid fan for over a decade now, with my introduction to the series being Metal Gear Solid 2 on the PlayStation 2. I played all the mainline entries since, excluding Portable Ops. I can honestly say that the series is very near and dear to me and will always be, which is why I'm ashamed to say that I never played the original Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1. The reason is that I never had a PlayStation 1 growing up, but I did have a GameCube, which allowed me to play the remake, Twin Snakes. And yes, I know all about how controversial it is and how unfaithful to the original the game is, but that's a whole other topic. The one thing I will say right off the bat is that for a game that came out in 1998, it's very ambitious in terms of storytelling.
Don't shoot! It's me! Don't shoot! It's me, Snake!
Otacon, how'd you get here?
Well, it wasn't as dramatic as your entrance, believe me. I'm afraid of heights.
You were watching?
Yeah, I was watching. I was riding in the back of their truck. Thanks to the stealth camouflage.
How did you get up here?
The elevator, of course.
The cutscenes are fully voiced and use different camera angles. Not a lot of games of that time had a lot of cutscenes, and when they did, they'd be relatively short and would be far and few in between. This game has a cutscene almost every 20 minutes or so, if you count the codec calls. It's known now that Kojima games are cutscene heavy, but I can imagine just how different this game must have felt to play in 1998. Even though the graphics are extremely crude by today's standards, being a PlayStation 1 game, a lot of emotion is conveyed through the great voice acting and even the body language of the characters. It makes the cutscenes fun to watch, even if nobody in the game has eyes or a mouth that moves. The game just has that blocky PlayStation 1 charm to it. Even though I already knew what was going to happen since I played Twin Snakes, which more or less shares the same story, I still feel very engaged and immersed in the game's world and story. That's a testament to just how well this game aged in the 24 years it's been around. The soundtrack is also amazing and is probably now one of my favorites in the entire series. The game overall is very atmospheric and memorable.
The DARPA chief and President Baker. So now the terrorists know both detonation codes.
Yeah, and on top of that, they both died right in front of my eyes.
Gameplay wise, it's fun, but very basic and pretty clunky. Anyone who's played the later games in the series will immediately feel weirded out by just how little you can do in this game. Which is understandable as it's the first 3D game in the franchise, so a lot was still being figured out. Your moveset is simple. You can run around, crouch in place, crawl, climb ladders, punch, grab, shoot. I would describe the stealth as very arcade-like. All you have to do is stay away from the guards' field of view, which is displayed on your radar. The guards can't see more than 10 feet in front of them, and they're practically deaf, at least from what I could tell. So you don't have to worry about how fast you're running because there's only one run speed and it doesn't affect anything. Your footsteps are very much audible for the entire game, but the guards won't hear them, which is weird. Although I find this game to be fun, I do have a few complaints. For one, the aiming is bad. If it wasn't for the heavy auto-aim, it would be impossible to hit anything manually because Snake just swings himself all over the place when you try to rotate him as you shoot. I actually had no idea that there was even auto-aim. So I died a bunch of times in the prison section because I couldn't aim worth shit. I knew I was missing something, so I went on the internet to find out how to beat the section, and the explanation made me feel stupid. I wish this could have been communicated better in the game, maybe through a codec call or something. The other thing I dislike is the fact that you have to have the keycard equipped to open locked doors. This is more of a nitpick as it doesn't affect the game very much, but it's annoying that you have to keep equipping and unequipping the keycard as you go because there's other gadgets you need to use. My final complaint is that there's a lack of choice in decision making you have. The vast majority of your weapons and items have very specific uses and can often not be used in any other area. For example, chaff grenades can only be used to disable cameras and interfere with Vulcan's targeting system during that one boss fight. The Stinger missile can only be used in 2 boss fights. The sniper is only viable against Sniper Wolf. It would have been great if you could use the sniper to shoot cameras or something, but that doesn't even work. These items take up a lot of room in your inventory and you have to constantly scroll through them whenever you're looking for a specific weapon or item. So half of your inventory is useless once you're near the end of the game. I've heard other reviews say that this game is difficult, and I disagree. Sure, there's a couple of sections that can be a little frustrating, but once you figure out how to get through them, they're extremely easy. The boss fights aren't even that difficult either. They all have one basic strategy that you follow to beat them. You don't even have to look up a guide online or anything. You can just call Campbell or Otacon. They'll usually just straight up tell you what to do.
Hey! Shut up in there, will ya?
Sure, you might die here and there, but they're not that difficult like many people say they are. I remember watching older reviews of this game where people kept mentioning how hard they thought the game was overall. But I'm not sure if that's because they remember the game being really hard when they played it as a child or what. However, I do admit that there's some bullshit moments to be had in this game. For example, the camera can really be a pain sometimes because there's a lot of instances where you're going to get shot by enemies that are off screen, or you'll turn a corner and bam, there's someone standing there and now a ton of guards are going to kill you. It's mainly minor annoyances like that that makes the game somewhat frustrating at times, but it doesn't kill the overall experience. Overall, I'd say that Metal Gear Solid is still a really good experience, even the year of the apocalypse 2022. If you're looking for an old school PS1 story-based game to play, I highly recommend this one.
You're my special prey. Got it. I've left my mark.
Hey! Shut up in there, will ya?